All right, can you guys hear me? Looks like Knox was here first. We got some exciting stuff to show you guys today and also talk about. I think it'll be fun. I know it's a little bit late for some of you, but anyway, we had a few other folks go a little earlier that I needed to bump this time back a little bit. Hey Shadrach, how's it going? Tiger Stacker, glad to have you here. If you guys can see my screen okay, look at that. You guys know what that is? We're going to talk about that a little bit today too. Robin M, welcome. Creeping Time, good to see you. This is your first Stacking Surfer Live. Well, welcome. We're going to have some fun today. MR, welcome. Craig, welcome as well. Let's see who else we've got on here. Just getting started. Casey Kemp, welcome. Knox, thank you for coming. Hey Mark, hey Pete, how's it going? Can you guys hear me okay? I can go hook up my better microphone if you're not hearing me okay. But I wanted to check first. What's up, everybody? Stacking Surfer here. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear what I'm saying? You can hear okay, great. All right. Okay, well, I've been under the weather a little bit, so I haven't been able to plan everything I wanted to, and I wasn't able to get everything quite ready to do everything I want to do today. And we're getting really close to getting that 1,000 subscribers. So if I look, I think we're at about 944 right now. So we're really, really close. So guys, keep hitting that thumbs up. That's going to help us, other people know that this is going on, and they'll be able to jump into it. It'll start to get recognized by the algorithm, which will be great. Serpent, welcome. Brother Rat, hey, what's up? Tarnished Charm, glad to have you here too. All right, so how much was the surfboard priced online for? Okay, so let me do a couple things here before we get started with the conversation tonight. I want to show you guys a few things. So I'm going to go back to the screen so you can see this real quick. There are only, of these coins, there are only 14 of them that I know of that have been signed. So on this one, whoops, there we go. On this one, Drew has signed it at 1352, which is the number on the coin, out of 3,000, and then he signed it, Drew Brophy, here on the side. So that is pretty cool. And let's look at it real quick here. Okay, let's see if we can look at it closely enough. So there you go, 1352. You guys see the number there? Ooh, gotta get that focus on the camera there. There you go. So I have to tell you, I'm in the process of needing a new iPhone. I use that for this camera here. And I've been using it on the gimbal. And what I hadn't realized is a few times that gimbal will snap real quick and fast, and it's broken all the cameras. So the motion stabilization's broken on these cameras, and the zoom lens is gone. So I'm waiting for the new iPhones to be announced here in September, and we'll be picking one of those up. But look at how nice that looks. The detail is pretty dang awesome. So the good news is it looks like we're going to be getting more of these kind of coins. So I'm pretty sure they've had enough success from this that we're going to see more of them. I know Drew mentioned that he's working with PAMP to try to get something coming in the spring. And I'm pretty sure something's going to happen. And we're going to, on my channel here with you guys, this community, we're going to try to see what we can do to get our hands on some of the earliest ones that come out. And I think we're going to try to see if we can get some more signed, as well as maybe do some other fun promotional things and some unique stuff. But take a look at it too. So this is the Enforcer, and the artwork is great, guys. You can see that it's actually, there's some texture to it. It's not just flat on there. You guys can kind of see that, I think. And they look great in your hand. So I do have a handful of these coins. Some of them I'm holding on to when the other ones come out. I think they're great channel pieces for Stacking Surfer theme. And I've never taken any of these out, but you can see there's the silver. but it is 1 ounce. I would love to see something like this in a 3 ounce. Would be really cool. Okay, so this one is signed. He did sell 10 of these that were signed for $185 each. I actually think he probably could have sold them for higher. I think they went really, really fast. Hey, Judith and Dan Davis, welcome. Eric G, XRP. Ooh, you're gonna have to tell us about some XRP there. You'd buy a 5 ounce too. Yeah, I would buy a 5 ounce as well. I like those. Frankly, I think even a kilo would be pretty cool, but I haven't seen anybody do anything like that. So I think they're really cool. They're pieces I like a lot. The other thing I want to talk a bit about tonight is from my videos that you guys have just seen me putting out is GOLDBACKS. I am not promoted by these guys. I don't get paid anything by Drew Brophy or by PAMP. I had to pay for all these GOLDBACKS. I did not get them free from the GOLDBACK company. Same with these 5s here. And then I have a whole bunch of 1s here too. So based on my videos, I've been trying to answer everybody's comments and reply to them as much as I can. You'll notice these do not have a dollar. Oh, sorry, guys. Give you a little whiplash there. Notice that these do not have a dollar denomination mark on them, okay? They just have a number 1. And the conclusion we've kind of come to is calling these GOLDBACK notes, all right? So none of these did I get free. I did get 2. I guess I did get 2 free. So I have one that I've been asked to give to another stacker in the community to basically see if they do an interview with GOLDBACK. The other one is burned. So I took one of these and I burned it. If you haven't seen that video yet, please do go check it out. It's pretty cool. And so this was burned, not using a crazy nice torch, using a really junky barbecue lighter. So it didn't actually burn the gold or melt the gold down. What it did is it basically burned everything else that's around the gold, all the plastic. And this is what you're left with. So let me see if I can... Yeah, there you go. So you guys, that's real gold there. There's less than a 1,000th of an ounce because some of it you can see is kind of coming out on the top here. Some of it didn't make it into the bag, but I think you get the idea here. So we will be doing a giveaway of this and some GOLDBACKS in this. Those will be coming up here, guys. So what I want to do is tonight, I know we mentioned it on Yankees channel the other day that tonight we would be doing the giveaway on this. What I want to do though is I want to give enough people an opportunity to be able to get this, and I also want to make a bigger show for the 1,000th show. So hopefully you guys don't kill me tonight on this, but what I want to do is, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the time. I'm also not feeling real great. I've just come off of being sick for a couple days. We're going to do 2 weeks out from yesterday. So on September 6th, starting at 4 o'clock, we're going to do a live stream. I'm anticipating at least a 2-hour live stream. It may go as long as 3 hours if we're having a lot of fun with it. I am going to have Drew Brophy come back on, and we're going to be able to ask him a few more questions and talk just candidly with him. It won't be so much of an interview. We will be giving this coin right here away. In addition to that, I will be giving away another one of these that's not signed. Okay, so there's going to be 2 opportunities in 2 weeks to get one of these surfboard coins. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I don't want to say it too out loud, but it's that thing that's been going around for a couple of years. I think I'm on my third round. So my eyes are like bloodshot and I've had headaches all week. Otherwise, we would probably be doing it today. So we got GOLDBACKS. If we can get to the 1,000 subscribers in 2 weeks, by that time, if you guys can help me with that, tell your friends and family about it. One thing I'm going to do is we're going to do gold giveaways on that night as well. So it's going to be pretty cool. I've got some different kinds of denomination of gold that, Mrs. Surfer will let me give away, that I think you guys will also have a lot of fun with. In addition to that, if I still have some, we will probably be doing a peace dollar giveaway on that night too, if these haven't sold already from um, on eBay. But if these are around, so I'm going to do some cool giveaways. Like I probably will give away too much money. I'm going to get in trouble. But I think it'd be kind of fun to have a really epic night. You guys, they always make these things too hard to get out. But you can see that piece dollar there. So that's the BU. And I'm going to show you a few other things that just came in the mail that are pretty cool too. So you can see that. It's pretty nice. Did any of you guys get any of these, and did you have any problems with them? I didn't have any problems with mine. They all look really, really good. So you can see the detail there. There's no hairs, no cracks, no spotting of any kind on these. So they came out pretty nice. But I've got 2 of these left. Actually, I got 3 of these left. Just noticing that. All right, so what I wanted to do tonight too is talk a little about a couple ideas that I have for the community. For a lot of you, you're probably aware of how the YouTube channels work. Right now, getting these channels started takes quite a bit of time and energy and a little bit of money, buying software and other things like that to make it work. And what I am in the process of trying to do is get this channel monetized so that it takes the burden off of some of those costs. So one of the things that that's really tricky, you can see that nice gold back there, guys. One of the things that's tricky is getting your channel monetized. So I'm getting to the subscribers. I'll probably hit 3,000 subscribers well before I ever hit the view hours, unless I change things up a little bit. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm planning on coming on every day with a live stream. They will be fairly short, probably 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes long. And that'll be starting tomorrow. And then I will even be doing one on Sunday. That's going to be more focused on family and faith. And that'll be kind of a fun one. I think you guys will enjoy that. So there's a 1/100th of a troy ounce in the 10 goldback note. And what I'm going to do on Monday through Friday on the live streams is talking about the news. And so I want to show you guys a couple things on the news real quick. So yes, 4,000 hours is what I got to get to. It does take some time. I'm only at about 1,100 hours after doing this for 4 months. So let's do this. I'm going to put myself in the corner here, guys, so you can see me as we're going through some of this real quick here. And I'm going to see if I can get this to switch me views here just a second. No, we're going to have to do it like, that's not the right one, sorry. Like this. All right, we're going to do it like this. I'm still figuring out this software, but hopefully you guys will be able to see the news articles okay this way. All right. Okay, so one thing I wanted to do real quick before I get into some of the news I wanted to share with you guys. Drew Brophy is doing his drawing for this skate deck. So you can see that the coins are modeled after a surfboard, and the surfboard is modeled after the surfboard, and then the skate decks are modeled after the coins. So if you go to drewbrophyart.com, and I will go ahead and put that in the chat in a minute when we get back, or Mod, if maybe Knox, if you're on, if you could throw that in, would be great. If you go and hit the giveaway button here, and you hit that, you can enter to win one of these. They normally sell for $125. I do not know if he's going to be signing it or not. If he does end up signing it, that's going to be worth quite a bit more. I think those go up to like $200 if they're signed. But they do have the holes in them to put trucks and wheels on if you want to use it as a skateboard. You can also use those holes at the top to mount. There's a special kind of bracket you can buy to hang it on the wall. I don't know if they sell that on here. You'd have to look. And if not, just send me a message if you end up winning this, or you buy one and you want to get one of those, and I can ask Maria Brophy where we get those from. But here's the rules to enter. They're really just looking for your email address, first name, and let's see. And I think you hit subscribe and it goes through that. It may, yeah, okay. I don't know. All right. So it'll pop up some stuff there real quick. So as you're looking at that, um, also go over and look at, let's see, I think it's accessories. Okay, so in accessories here, there's other stuff that you guys might think is kind of cool to look at. So you can see a lot of his stuff's been selling out. But he's got some fun, cool stuff here that has a lot of his designs. This is kind of his main top design here, is this sunrise one here, which is pretty cool. But anyway, go ahead and do that. They're doing the drawing tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific. They may do it a little early, so make sure you don't miss out on that. So that's going to be important to hit. And then what I wanted to bring up here too is a couple news articles on the BRICS. But before I do that, I wanted to just take a quick look at at any feedback here from you guys before I move too far off here. Okay, Judith and Dan Davis, you guys have the idea. All right, I'll have to see how I'll start putting some more stuff into playlists, and you guys can just let it run. That would be great. That would really help. That would be great. You can sleep on it all night long. I like the idea. All right, so yeah, anything you guys can do with the hours would definitely help. A lot of it's just introducing more people to it too. Now, one thing I will throw out before we get to the news here in a second, I am going to be filming Saturday morning at the beach with another stacker in the community. Let's move that out of the way for a minute. We're going to film at the beach talking about and asking people what the real value of silver is. We're also going to be talking to them about if they'd rather have an ice cream bar or a silver bar. So I think it's going to be really fun. And then hopefully, I don't have it fully arranged yet, but I'm hoping to also get my first LCS interview with a local coin store that I think's pretty good here. And I think they're as good if, you know, I think they're pretty good. We'll see how the interview goes, but they're very knowledgeable. They've got a great shop. So I'm hoping we'll be able to get that filmed on Saturday as well. I do have an interview that should be coming out tomorrow with GOLDBACKS. Like I said, I did not get paid by them for any of this stuff. My parents happen to live about 15 minutes away from where GOLDBACKS headquarters is. And I was up there the other day to say hi to my parents for a couple days and had a few hours to stop by and do a quick interview. Meet them and also figure out how these things work. So I do have a video that'll be coming out with an interview from GOLDBACKS that I think is going to be different than any interview you've seen so far. One, it's in person. No one else is in person. Two, you're going to see me using a handful of these GOLDBACK notes to actually purchase an item at a hardware store. And you're going to see that one of those hardware stores would not take these. They had no idea what they were. The other one took them easily. And I might say it was just as easy as using cash. The other thing is I actually made money, or I should say I saved an additional 9% by using GOLDBACKS versus using a credit card or US dollars. So any of you that may be feeling like GOLDBACKS really aren't economical and you can't use them, I'm going to teach you guys and show you how you can actually make money from these. And a lot of it comes down to understanding how to buy them. You know, I've done a lot of real estate in my days, and real estate comes down to when you make the purchase, not when you sell it. And I think it's the same thing when you're buying gold and silver. It comes down to when you buy it. And if you buy it right, then you always have a lot of options, and most likely you're going to come out of it on top and making money. But I made an extra 9% on top of any discounts that the store was offering when I used GOLDBACKS. Couldn't do that with dollars. But I don't want to give everything away, but I'll give you guys a little bit of a hint of it. Basically, if you go online and you go see what the other stores are charging for these, maybe we'll look at this in a minute here. They're charging quite a bit more than what the exchange rate is for GOLDBACKS. So I will have that in a better format in the video, but at the time of filming, one of these is worth about $4. I was able to buy them for $3.65. The stores are taking them at a $4 value. So that's where my 9% came in. The other issue is if you were to go to buy them from Monument Metals or from SD Bullion or AppMex or any other online store that has them, you're going to pay a premium. You're going to be paying close to like $5.50, $5.80 for one of these. And so you're going to lose money. You're actually going to pay more using these for transactions if you go that route than you will if you're buying them from a local store. Now, the only way to buy them local is you've got to be in one of the states that offer these, and you have to be at one of the exchanges. But I'll share a little bit more of that on the video with you guys. But once I learned that, I understood these really can work out to your advantage, and there is a way to game them a little bit. There's also a good way to benefit from them. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so let's see. Some of you guys signed up for the skate deck, which I think is cool. I think we've had 113 people from our live stream last week that actually signed up. I don't have any of the silver backs, though. I think those are really cool. I'd hold on to those. I don't know how many of those are going to make. Premiums would be insane on those, by the way. Let's see here. Okay. Great Lake coins. Okay. Yep. If you can get them from there, then I would definitely do that too. So I'm not 100% sold on GOLDBACKS, but I also don't think they're bad. So no, would I recommend you go and stack these for weight? Definitely not. But I think these are great bartering tools, and I think they're really cool. So I am going to make some other videos where I'm going to try to see if I can use these for tips at a restaurant. So we're going to have fun with that. Okay, so let's, hey Knox, thanks for putting that in there. Okay, so let's go back over here. I'm going to get my screen up. I wanted to share some news stuff with you guys because I think it's very important and timely right now. Okay, hopefully this works okay. All right. So I don't know if you guys can read that though. Let me shrink myself down a little bit. All right, hopefully this will work a little better. I'm gonna take a quick hydration break. Okay, all right, so what I wanna share with you guys real quick here is for those of you that are not aware of it, but I'm guessing every one of you is aware of it, we have had, over the last couple days here, we have had a situation where the BRICS nations have come together for their annual meeting, and they're trying to figure out, are they going to allow other countries to join them? And so you can see some of the leaders there trying to figure out if they're going to go ahead and do that or not. And you know, one of the things that I think is really important to realize here is there's a lot of speculation that's been going on that there's going to be a gold-backed currency that's announced. Those currencies are really difficult to put together and to announce right off the bat. I think a lot of that has been speculation that's come out from Robert Kiyosaki's tweet, where he said gold's going to hit $3,000 2 days ago on the 22nd when they announced that. I don't know if they're going to come out and announce it, and I don't think it really matters quite yet if they do. To me, the big announcement that's just come out that is probably just as important, but may not move the gold price as much. However, I am seeing gold at a nice steady price at the moment. That news is the addition of new countries into BRICS. So let's see if I get it in this article. I think it might be the next one. I think it's in the next one here. Let's see, where did we go? I might have lost that article. Shoot. Okay, just a second, guys. Let's find it here. Okay, here we go. All right, CNN, everybody's favorite news source. We'll look at them here since they're the first ones that popped up. Well, let's read this for a second here. If Saudi Arabia accepts the invitation, the world's largest crude oil exporter will find itself in the same economic bloc as the world's largest oil importer, China. It will also mean that Russia and Saudi Arabia, both members of OPEC Plus, a group of major oil producers, will join each other in a new economic bloc. The two countries often coordinate their oil output, which has in the past put Saudi Arabia at odds with its ally, the United States. Okay, so you guys, they've already made the announcement. They are part of BRICS. So let's see if I can find. Here we go. Oh, that's the article we were looking at earlier. Beautiful. Okay, I'm not seeing it in that one. It wasn't as clearly put out. Let's see. Decline. Oh, come on, guys. Let's find this. Where are we at? I did have this up earlier. It looks like I copied over it, though, unfortunately. So here's another article from Bloomberg that says BRICS currency was never on the table. South Africa had mentioned that a little while back, too. I think a lot of you guys were aware of that, too. So I don't think that's going to change things. But with the new countries coming on, I don't care who else is coming on. I really just care about Saudi Arabia. That is going to change things drastically. That is going to allow and make it easier for Saudi Arabia to essentially come in, and it's going to allow them to come in and start taking other currencies instead of the U.S. dollar. So I think it is we're about to see the end of the U.S. petrodollar here. Personally, I think that's what we're going to see happen here. All right, so you guys have mentioned that in there too. Let's see. There are silverbacks in stock. Okay, that's cool. Hey, Nick, welcome. Tony, welcome. And let's see. Shell oil as well. Yeah, I think that could be a big problem. So, honestly, I think what's going to happen here, if I kind of read the tea leaves a little bit, I think we're going to see a situation where BRICS is going to continue to put pressure on the U.S. dollar. I don't think you're going to see a huge dumping of U.S. dollars until they do have a gold-backed or a commodity basket of commodities backed currency or tied to currency. There's some debate on whether they're going to back it or they're just going to be using it as a tie to a specific value. But I don't think until that is in place will they be dumping a lot of dollars on the market. However, I think we're going to start to continue to see the slide happen. So the good news is you still have some more time to buy gold before it jumps up. The bad news is we don't know how long it's going to take before everything's going to happen. But what I can tell you is it can happen overnight. We could wake up tomorrow and hear that there's a gold-backed currency, and you could see gold spike quite a bit. I'm not going to tell you it's going to hit 3,000. I'd love it to do that. But I think you could see that kind of thing happen. The reality, though, is, at least for me, everything that I have built up in my head usually tends to be a lot softer than what I've made up in my mind. So all the crazy that's gone on the last few years, I can imagine things much worse than they are. They're not great. But I always have to pull myself back into reality a little bit and say, okay, Robert Kiyosaki came out and said $600 silver the other day too. And yes, we could see $600 silver. We could see $5,000 silver. We could see $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 gold. For those scenarios to happen, though, you have to have the US dollar get completely wrecked. You would see real estate values get completely decimated. They'd go back to what they were in the 50s. And the only people that would have anything of any value would be gold, and you're basically in the Weimar Republic situation. Do I think we're heading there? We're going to be there? I don't think we're going to go there right now, and I don't think it's going to get that bad. But for me, I buy gold for wealth insurance, and I buy silver for bartering, and I buy goldbacks for bartering. I actually think these would do really well in an SHTF situation for bartering. The only thing that's a little tricky is if you don't have a phone to work by, you're going to have to kind of establish what the value of these are. But they'll be doing the same thing with silver too. So that's one thing I would kind of point out there. All right, let's see. Yeah, Shadrock mentions here too, thank goodness we are self-sufficient. So, we were self-sufficient. We are no longer. I think we're going to need to get a new a new change here in the U.S. where we're trying to be more self-sufficient. We have more resources than anywhere on the planet, And it's a shame that this country is not using our own resources. We could totally do that on our own. The other thing I'll throw out is I think it's important for each of us to be more self-independent and to also get in a situation where things aren't so tight. And it's hard to say, I've got a great job with a great company, but we cut some of our pay. And so I'm actually making less money than I have in the last 5 years. And so things are tight right now. I've got to figure out other ways of making money to pay the bills. And I think a lot of people are in that type of a situation. But one thing I try to do is figure out how I can grow some of my own food. I think it's important to have some food storage around, water. We just had this massive hurricane that was supposed to come through that turned into nothing. It was just all hype. But had it been a big deal and shut down things for several days, it's good to not have to go out into that chaos. And if we have a major earthquake here, it could change a lot of things too. All right, so I got a couple things I wanted to show you guys real quick that I haven't opened yet. We're going to do a quick little unboxing here. Well, I got you guys on the line, so I think you'll have fun with this. This just came in from the U.S. Mint last week. And I just have not had the time to open it yet. And I totally wrecked that box. Gosh, this one is stuck on good. Okay. All right, so I know Nick's gonna like this stuff. Well, let's see, what do we got here? Let me see what we got. Okay, so this is different. Oh, looks like we got San Francisco here is what we got. Let's take a look at that. I don't know, I signed up for all this stuff last year. I have no idea what's even coming. So we got a San Francisco proof here. I don't know, did you guys order any of these? Look at that, that looks pretty good. I'll get it right there as a good focus. So, I don't know, that one looks pretty good. I don't see any problems with that. I don't know, what do you guys think? Did you order any of these? So I think these are pretty cool. So I saw another comment here as we're looking at this that I'll talk about. Someone had mentioned, should you keep large amounts of money in the bank? I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor, guys, but I do come from a banking family, and I do have a big background in banking. I was actually going to take a board of directors position on my family's bank before everything crapped out in 2008. So I do know a couple things about banking. And what I will tell you is that I don't trust the banks right now. I don't think they are in good shape. I think they're all in very poor shape. If you actually went by the standards that they were held to for reporting and accounting back in 2008, they would all be bankrupt and closed today. They do not have to account for their losses that come in from the bonds right now with interest rates that keep going up. They don't have to account for any of that. They can hold them until maturity. They could not do that in 2008, and that's what took out the savings and loans. It's a big part of it. No one wants to talk about that stuff, but I can tell you that they're not in good shape now, and I think we are just waiting for a small black swan event to cripple a bunch of the regional banks. And I think maybe even some of the big national banks are going to have a big problem too with it. So what I would tell you as far as keeping a lot of cash in the bank is I would not count on the FDIC insurance to be what saves you. I would say that what's most important is to keep enough cash in the bank to run the operations of your businesses and here's the Morgan, by the way, of your businesses and also your personal life for at least 30 days, maybe 60 days. And then personally, I'd recommend finding a safe place to park the cash, either in your house in a safe, or what I like to do is a vaulting facility that's heavily guarded and secure. That's kind of cool. So there's the Morgan. That's what I'd recommend. I probably would not, in my case, I would not go keep like 6 months to a year's worth of cash in the bank. That actually looks really nice. So I don't know. I'm debating on these guys. I may keep, I've got 3 of them and I've got 3 kids. I may keep all 6 of these. So 3 of each kind for my kiddos to pass to them. And then I may go get myself a graded set of mid-state 70s, or I guess they'd be proof state PF 70s. I may do that too. They look pretty nice. What I'm really waiting for is the reverse proofs of these. I think are going to be really cool. But I don't know. I've been getting the good coins. I don't know about some of the other stackers out there have had a lot of problems with their coins. These look really good shape. So I really wouldn't leave a lot of cash in the bank, personally. If you do feel like you want to leave a lot of cash in the bank, get multiple banks and spread it out. And I'd get some credit unions. I get at least one credit union. I'd get at least one regional bank and one national bank. That's kind of how I would go with it. But that's how I would answer the cash in the bank. Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki, Tony, I think is a maximalist. I think a lot of what Robert's trying to do is wake people up. And headlines like $600 silver, headlines like $3,000 gold get people to pay attention to him. I don't know if he fully believes it's going to happen right now, but you look at Michael Saylor, the guy does the same thing when it comes to Bitcoin. Same with a lot of other guys that are out there. Tyler collects free soap from staying in the hotels. I think that's awesome. Hopefully you're staying at nice hotels that have good soap. That could definitely help you in a SHTF situation. But I think, self-reliance, I think, is a huge thing, guys. It really is a big thing. So put a number 1 in the chat right now if you guys have interest in the following. I do have a couple videos I've been working on for food storage. So one of the things that I think is really important to realize is there's different kinds of food storage. There's different ways to prepare food. I happen to be gluten-free, and so most of the companies that offer the freeze-dried food storage at exorbitant rates do not have gluten-free food. And so I've had to figure out how to make my own food storage. So I take oatmeal, I take rice, I take black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, and then I also take oatmeal and then gluten-free flour. And I've been able to prepare all of that to last 30 years. So I've got a video that shows how to do that. It's very economical, especially if you're going into a big box retailer like, say, Sam's Club or Costco or BJ's. You can do it for way cheaper than buying it from these other companies. You're not going to have as much variety, and it's going to be kind of dull food. So you want to also, pack away spices with it too. So you can keep salt, you can keep sugar, you can keep brown sugar, things like that too. What I will do is buy some of the freeze-dried fruits and soups and other mixes that are gluten-free. And then for my family, I'm looking at purchasing here some of the freeze-dried meals that they would probably eat more willingly than the stuff that I'm making. But put a 1 down if you guys are interested in seeing videos on how to make your own food storage. I know it's not exactly stacking silver and gold, but I do think it goes hand in hand. After all, you cannot eat gold and silver. And I do think it's helpful to have, those things in place so that you're not having to deal with, a whole lot of issues with food security. So anyway, that's kind of what I was thinking about is putting a couple of those videos together. So I'm going to look and see if anybody put any ones down. Okay, we got a couple ones here. I think a freeze dryer would be pretty cool too. And the other thing that I recommend is a deep freeze. So part of the series that I'm looking to do would be a playlist that you guys can play at night. Get my numbers up. I love that idea. I think it's hilarious. But what I'm looking at doing is helping you understand what kind of foods you can secure for years. So your dried foods, right? But what about your meats? I think a lot of meat from the grocery store is garbage, and there's some great places you can buy meat from, and they will ship it already freeze-dried to you, and you can put it in a deep freeze out in your garage or basement. And I think that's a great option. But then what happens if there's no electricity? So I want to talk a little bit about generators. And I'm not talking about a prepping channel here, getting real in depth on it. It may be one video for each of these subjects. But I do have a solar generator that I have that I can hook up, and I'm in the process of finding an electrician to hook it into the house grid. And once we do that, and I get some extension cables, I can put the solar panels outside, and I'll always be able to back up my freezer no matter what. Even in a storm or a hurricane, you would still have enough solar energy coming through that with the panels, I'd be able to keep at least one of those solar generators going. And the reason I like solar generators, guys, these do not have the same batteries that blow up in Tesla cars. I have seen several Teslas blow up. They're not the volatile lithium ion batteries. They're a different kind of battery. They do last, you can charge and discharge them for 10 years, every day for 10 years. And you'll only drain it to an 80% efficiency, which is pretty cool. But the reason I like these a lot is they're pretty darn silent. Your neighbors don't know you have them. So if we do get into a situation where there's electricity is out for a prolonged period of time, it's not like a Generac or a gas-powered generator that's going to be super, super loud. And it can still pull charge from a rainy sky, so that's kind of cool. But I'm looking to do something on that. And then maybe down the road, we'll find some experts on communication, things like radios and stuff like that you can do. So none of it's to freak out. None of it's to go into some crazy bunker prepping mentality, but it's things you can do. Here in California, I have 72-hour kits that we put in the car in case we happen to be in San Diego or LA, which is a bit of ways from our house, over an hour away. And if bridges collapse and we don't have anywhere to go, it's great to at least be secure for 3 days while you kind of figure out what's happening next. Okay, so I see a handful of ones, so I think that's probably a good thing to put out there too. All right, so Knox, you've got some PCGS coins coming. That's great. Yeah, I'm debating if I'm going to send some of these in for grading or not, but yeah, we'll have to take that look. And then Mark, I see a comment here about being sold out to China. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that's going on. So I think we've got some problems there for sure. Okay. All right, I'm just reading through your guys' comments a little bit here. One, I don't think enough people that are doing live streams are reading the comments and getting back to everybody. So I try to do that. I do it a little bit different than the rest of everybody does here. All right, so Craig, you got some family in the banking business too. And yeah, you guys, there's just some crazy stuff that's going on. I don't want to go into too much detail about it. And I got to be careful what I say publicly. But what I will tell you is do your own homework and your own research. Don't show up to your bank and ask them if everything's safe. Just look at the trends. They've closed all the branches down on Saturday. The closest branch to my house has been closed for the bank I go to. It's one of the big 5 banks. They no longer open at 6 o'clock in the morning. They're now opening at I think 9 or 10 in the morning. They close at 5. They've got a lot of banker holidays. So, when you start seeing things like that happen, and then the ATMs never work. All the ATM machines I go to for this bank are always closed down, not working. You've got to go in the branch. And when you go in, there's 2 or 3 people in there working. That's it. So I'm going to guess that branches are going to be a thing of the past. I'm going to guess within the next 3 years, branches are gone for the most part, or there's very few of them. And if that happens, I think they're going away from cash too. So just kind of keep that in mind. The sad thing, Seymour, you mentioned, if you're still on here too, 4% interest. Yes, I know, I get it. The 4% interest, finally it's here. The problem is it's still not real. And what I mean by that is it's still negative. Inflation rate is still higher than 4%. I don't care what the CPI says. It's completely fake. Everything is more expensive than 4%. So you're still just you're just losing less money by doing that. But honestly, I think your best bet is gold and silver. I think platinum, you could play a little bit. There's a chance that that's going to be a good return, but it's not a metal I get into too much myself. But I always like to say gold is wealth insurance and silver is bartability. as well as speculative. And I think both of them are going to do well. The problem here that I am seeing in the community, though, and there's some things I'm going to be working on to address that, is I do think it's very important for us to not go too heavy in gold and silver. And what I mean by that is I always like to have like a 30% of my investable money in cash, liquid, so that I can do unique things that I can buy when things go down. I do think we're going to get into a period of time here where a lot of stuff's going to be on sale. People are going to need money for food. They're going to be willing to sell their guitars at great prices. They're going to sell their cars at great prices. They'll probably, sorry guys, I don't know how to turn notifications off on my computer. Um, I don't know. I'm a computer guy and I don't know how to do that. Figure that out for the live stream. Um, and I'm going to have the other thing I'll throw out there too is I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities to just buy things on sale. Okay. So if all of your money's tied up into gold and silver, I don't think it's bad. I just think there may be a time where you're wanting to sell some of that gold and silver potentially to either get better deals on other things that are out there that you want, or you may get to the point yourself where all of a sudden food's just so expensive you're now having to sell some of your reserves. And it's still better to have cash for that. So it's a little hard to keep it going and to juggle that. I did have a situation where we had a flood in the house, and then we had a trip I was sending my kids on that ended up being more expensive than we thought. And then there was another issue with one of my other kids to where, oh, and then taxes came in higher. My income tax bill came in higher than I was expecting. So it wiped me out of a lot of my cash reserves. And so now I've been in the process of selling some of the coins that I no longer want, that I maybe paid too high for, so I can take a loss. And I'm also selling some of the coins that have gone up a lot in value. So I do have like some gold coins that have gone up in value, and so I've been selling those to make up and get some more cash there. Okay, so let's see. I think a lot of people are looking for the reverse proofs are going to be really cool, guys. I think those will be fun. All right. So Knox, you've been working on some of the prep. I think that's great too. You know, if I had all the means in the world to do things, guys, one thing I would look at, butter's a good one too. You can get powdered butter. One of the things I like to look at is if you can get a year's supply of food. If you have enough, get 2 years supply of food. And the reason for that is that came from a farmer I talked to. He said you can have a year's supply of food to get you through things, but the problem is you have to have a season to grow your food and then to be able to start canning it and preparing it and get into a rhythm with it. I'm not saying you're going to be in trouble if you don't. Here in California, storing more than 3 months of food is nearly impossible. You're putting stuff under your couches and under your kids' beds, and you're filling all the closets. There's no basements. You can't put it in the garage. It gets too hot and will ruin the food. And your houses are small. So you do the best you can with your circumstances. But if you had the means and you had the space, I would get seeds. I would get 2 years worth. Daniel mentioned dehydrating apricots this summer. I think that's awesome. I think it's a great idea. Canning can be very good too. But dehydrating, I think, is a little bit better because you're not adding extra sugar into it, even though it does kind of condense down to a lot of the sugar. I think dry canning is a great idea as well. And let's see, that came from Kyler as well. Okay. So we've got intrinsic factor here is telling me some secrets for myself. Protease, I don't know if I'm saying that right, is an enzyme that helps your body process proteins, but it can completely break down gluten. That's good. I probably need to go get a bunch of that. I think dry milk is good too. I do have some digestive enzymes that help me. I like to sneak the Costco croissants. So I'll take a digestive enzyme for those. It probably has a bunch of that in it. It helps. So I probably need to stock up on a lot of that as well. But what I find is even with breaking the gluten down, I still just don't do as well with it, even if it does break down. But maybe I'm not doing it all the way right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so Craig's kind of the same boat as me. You know, you just have so much space. So for me, you know, I really only have enough space to to do a backup freezer and store stuff. But I'm going to show you guys some of that stuff and what I have and how I've done it. So I'll get those videos out here pretty soon because I feel like I need to do that fast. I'm feeling more stressed out about that. I filmed it a year ago. So I want to get that out there. Hey, PDX Stacker, welcome. Let's see here. So if you can trade gold, so Jamie says you can trade gold for beef, whole beef. If you can trade gold for beef, then yes, you can eat your gold. What I can tell you though is if things get crazy enough with food supply, if any of you guys have been watching the news on this stuff, we have seen a lot of plants over the last 2 years burn up, and we've seen a lot of cattle and other livestock be killed. To me, it looks very planned. There's definitely a lot of issues. I don't have all the facts in front of me, so I won't go through all of that. But what I will tell you is it does look like there's going to be some food shortages in the near future. So I do think it's a smart thing for us to start looking into that. And if things get tight enough and I had extra food, but I was worried that I wouldn't be able to replenish it near enough, I probably wouldn't take metals for it. So, one thing I would be careful with is do not plan on just having silver and gold by itself and that's going to help you buy food in NSHTF. People may not be willing to do it, or they may be doing things like, I'll take for a fourth of a cup of rice, it's going to cost you a silver eagle. Okay, that's a lot of money for rice. Or you may get into situations that for a 25-pound bag of rice, someone wants like a couple gold coins for it. You don't want to get into those kind of situations. On the other hand, if you have a whole bunch of food and you got plenty of it, when we get a situation like that, you may be willing to take a lot of gold for those bags and do it all day long. But Jamie, thank you for that. Let's see what else we got here. Jerky, I think, is good. If you guys can figure out how to dehydrate your jerky and do that, that's pretty good. Pemmican, I don't know what that is, Jamie. You'll have to tell us more about that sometime. If that lasts 50 years, it's got to be some pretty hardy stuff. Carbon platinum batteries, they might be, Craig. I'll have to look it up when I get that video out for you guys. I'll give you the details on it. Creeping Thyme mentions gardening's a must. I agree. Now, where I live, I got a corner that's about the size of 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet that has enough sunlight to grow anything in. That's about it. So what I have done is I have bought it's kind of a wood trellis where it has 5 levels of plants that you can put on. And in an area of about 4 feet by 2 feet, I can grow 100 plants. And I could also put it in my garage and put heat lamps on. So that is a pretty cool thing. I haven't set it up yet. My wife does not want me putting it in the backyard, but I think I'm going to. When we get to this next spring, we're going to go ahead and set that up and put it out. But I think I'll put some videos out on those too to kind of help you guys see that as an option, because some of us live in more urban settings and you got to do what you can do. There's no real good farmland here where I'm at, so I've got to figure out how to make it work for me. I need Wyoming. Shell mentions I need Wyoming. Yes, guys. It would be great to have an extra place out in Wyoming. You could probably grow anything you want out there. The other thing I hear people doing is Faraday bags with putting their equipment in there so that they make sure that there's no EMPs that can take it out. Satellite phones and things like, I guess you can even do these Faraday, they're like surge protectors on your car engine block and even on your house system. I don't know how well they're going to work. And it can cost a lot of money, like $300 to $400 per vehicle or per home. But there's a lot of devices out there you guys can research and kind of look at. Okay. Yeah, it sounds Shadrock saying Chase is maybe not a great place to be banking at right now. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit ahead here. Yeah, you guys, there is powdered butter. There's also powdered cheese, and there is powdered, what was the other powder that was interesting? powdered eggs that are out there. I've tried reconstituting the powdered eggs. Dude, you got to be starving to eat that crap. It was disgusting. So I'm just going to tell you, some of this food's not going to be very good, but you're going to learn to survive off of it. Um, so let's see here. So Creeping Thine found a 1964 dime in change the other day. I think that's pretty cool, guys. Give me a 2 in the comment box if you go through your change and flip it and look at the side of it every time you get change to see if you have silver. That's something I've done. Okay, let's see what else we got. Chicken. I think having meat's good. You don't need to have a ton of it, but it is good to have protein. Bonky One lived in Hawaii in the 70s and very saddened by what happened to Maui. All right, let's talk about that for a second. All right, so I'm a huge Maui fan. I try to go out to Maui every year. I have not made it out there as often as I want to, but I have made it out there. Um, I just got back in January, and I was out there the previous June. And we go to a place called Napili Kai that's just south of Kapalua, and it's a family resort. And my family has had some ownership in that since I want to say the late '60s, and it's where I grew up going as a little kid. And it was a great place to go as a kid and to enjoy. And Lahaina is a very special place to my family and I. We went as many times as we could to the old Lahaina Luau, and we know people that are out there, and met a lot of great locals and had good conversations with them and love those people. And what happened out there, I don't understand all the details of it, but regardless of how it got started, the the response to it has been complete garbage, and I'm very saddened by it. Um, if you guys are interested, I can pass on some information on how you can help people. We've been working with Napili Kai and reaching out to them to find out how we can support the families that work there that lost their houses. A lot of them don't have houses anymore. So my family and I, we've been gathering money and been donating it to them to try to help with that. So they need help as much as they can get. The government's only giving them $700 each. I don't know about you, but if you've ever been to Hawaii, $700 isn't going to do anything. I think that's not even enough money to probably stay one night in a hotel out there. So I think that's completely ridiculous. But my heart goes out to the people of Maui, and if any of the rumors are true around some kind of a smart city and 15-minute city and that kind of stuff, I think that's completely disgusting, and I hope all the truth comes out if that's the case. But if you guys have the means to help, that's definitely a very worthy cause. I would look for other things besides the American Red Cross and other organizations like that usually have very high overheads. I try to find some other 501c13s that are more local, that are helping support the local people. All right, vitamins I think are important for you guys too. I'm just going through the comments here, but let's talk a little bit about liquor and cigarettes. Okay, so I did a video on cigarette lighters. So what I think is important is you got to understand things that people are addicted to, okay, can be very good bartering tools. So if you have things like lighters, if you have things like cigarettes, if you have things like smaller bottles of alcohol and liquor, if you have smaller things of like medical supplies, smaller things of like deodorant and soaps and shampoos, all of that stuff is going to be worth its weight in silver, maybe gold, maybe multiple times that. People are going to want that stuff, and they'll be willing to trade you anything for it, especially things where people have addictions like cigarettes and alcoholism. Now, obviously, you don't want to promote those things necessarily, but people are going to want them, and they're going to be willing to do whatever they can for them. So those can be great bartering things. So I did buy a bunch of lighters, and maybe I'll do some other stuff there too. I think there's three metals you need to be looking at stacking: gold, silver, and lead. So the lead kind of refers to the guns and ammunition. I think you definitely need to have those. Now, what I will tell you though, guys, is I'm also a very religious person and faithful person. You cannot expect that you're going to be doing all this on your own at all. And the problem with overstocking food, overstocking metals, and overstocking ammunition is we are not, in my opinion, going to need to be in our each own little compound hiding from each other. I think the only way we survive any crazy SHTF situation is in community. So that's where I love the gold-backed stuff, is I think we're going to need to barter and use it. So this is one of those things. Silver is going to be a great tool for that too. But we're going to have to get to know our neighbors and community a little bit better and trust each other. Each of us are going to have different skills and sets. I'm a marketing guy, a banker. I sell artificial intelligence software. So a lot of my skills right off the bat aren't super helpful in an SHTF situation, but there's a lot of things I've learned on how to communicate and negotiate big, massive, multi-million-dollar deals. And so a lot of that I can help pull people together and get things to work. And then I've also been learning a lot about the metals, about the coins, and then also starting to get into, like I've mentioned, food storage, gardening, things like that. So one thing I'll throw out there that I think is really cool is you don't have to do it all. But I think you figure out what interests you, get involved in the community, learn how to do things. And then the next thing I would really say is have faith. You can only go so far, you can only do so many things. You can't see the future, you don't know what it's going to be. So I had one friend in Utah that had 20 AR rifles, and he had no food storage because he has like 1,000 rounds of ammunition, or maybe 10,000 rounds of ammunition. I don't have a ton of ammunition and a ton of rifles. And he just said he could get any food storage he wants from any person else because he's going to have AR rifles. That's a real jerk attitude to have. So Chris, if you're listening, don't do that. But I would recommend being prudent with things, guys. Don't go nuts and crazy on this. But at the same time, I think it's helpful to realize we may be having to help out some of our neighbors and friends. But I do think it's important to have protection for your family as well as your community. Okay, so Jeff, you've got rotate chicken in your food storage. I think that's important too. We've got Craig here talking about family in Oahu and Maui as well. Yeah, guys, I cried for a couple days solid on that whole thing. I'm still very saddened by the whole thing. And the people wanted to go in there and grab the land. If they don't rebuild that town just like it was, I think there's going to be protests all over the place. I don't think those developers are going to get what they think out of it if they try to do that. Okay, Seymour, let me clarify. My yard is not 4 feet by 4 feet. Here in California, if you have anywhere from a 6,000 to 10,000 square foot lot, you're on a big lot. My problem is I've got trees blocking in my house, and the angle of my house, there's not very good sunlight. So I really only have an area that's 4 feet by 4 feet. Maybe I could move some stuff around a little bit and trim things back, and maybe I can get 10 or 15 feet by 15 feet, but it's not very big. So I got to go vertical is kind of what I probably should have specified. But yeah, 4 feet by 4 feet, you can't even stand up in that very well. Container gardening, yes. So what I'll show you with this gardening that you guys might like too is it allows you to do 100 plants in a 4 foot by 2 foot area, and you only have to water it once a week. Everything's hydroponics. It's pretty cool. It does use some plastic stuff, so I'm not sure how good that is, but there's probably some ways to build around that. Okay, let's see here, and that was from Robin M, by the way. Kind of brought that up. Knox is in Tennessee, and he knows how to fish. Well, I like that. Well, I know how to fish too, but I don't really know how to do lake and river fishing that much. I do the deep sea fishing. So we do have a nice pier that goes out into the ocean, and we can catch just about anything out there. And when we catch fish in the ocean, they are massive, massive fish. You just gotta be careful that you don't get attacked by the great whites out there. All right, so Jamie has given us an update here. I hope I'm not way too behind on this stuff. Pemmican, if I'm saying that right, is a food used by a variety of native people for many generations and was adopted by the fur traders in the 18th and 19th centuries. I think that sounds really cool. So we'll have to learn. I'll have to look up that food. I keep getting ads now because I'm looking up stuff on YouTube for some books about what the pioneers did. I have a lot of pioneer ancestry. I've got a lot of relatives that came on. I've actually got 14 relatives that came on the Mayflower. So I've got a lot of backing from that time, and then people that came across the plains and settled in the West. And I think there's a lot of stuff that's kind of lost that we used to know how to do. So it is a dry beef in a can or a jar. Okay, that's pretty cool. So it is the poop on a shingle. So it probably doesn't taste very good. All right, it's like really nasty beef jerky, but it lasts 50 years. So I guess it'd be better. I'd rather be alive than not. All right, so Robin N brings in one thing I want to mention that this is totally true, and I stopped a lady about this about a month ago. Every time you go to the grocery store, if your grocery store has a Coinstar machine, every time you go over to that machine before you start shopping and go into the little tray and look for coins. The silver coins fall through a lot. And people don't know it. They don't hear it when all that jingling's going on. And the coins are just sitting there. So obviously whoever invented Coinstar was not looking for silver coins, or they would have fixed that flaw. But, I think that is pretty killer. It's a way to go find some silver. Now, if you guys are interested, put a 3 in the bottom here if you want to see me do some coin roll hunting. We could even start doing that tomorrow. We could do a little bit of that tomorrow. I picked up a box of dimes. So I think it's $250 of dimes. And then I also picked up a box of quarters, $500. And I've got $50 on order. And the bank's taking seriously over a month to get me that box. So they just can't get a hold of coins, which is not a good sign. Why is that such a hard thing to get? But here's what I was thinking of doing is just opening those up, and whatever silver we find will be silver that's given away on the channel. That'd be kind of fun. So if you guys think that would be a good idea, put a 3 in. All right, always check your change, guys. I'm not kidding about that. The other thing you always should be checking is your paper money. Let's see what I got in my pocket here. So you got your paper money here. Okay, I'm going to go take over to this other, we'll go to the other screen here for a second. So paper money, guys. I'm just going to point this stuff out. We're just covering a lot of stuff. We're having a good chat today. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Get your dollars out. You're looking for things that are either sequential numbers, you're looking for patterns, you're looking for star notes. This is nothing. This is nothing. The other thing I've noticed too, I've got a $100 bill where the green symbol is off, which actually brings the value up. This one's kind of interesting because it's got 2 9s and 4 3s. That's a repeater, so that might be one worth putting to the side and looking. This one's 51, 51, 60. I don't know if that's anything. That doesn't look like anything. A little bit of repeating, but not much. So I don't see anything real special about any of this money in my pocket, but I always like to look at that and see, hey, is there something special that's in there? I always think that's important. And then, every once in a while, you'll just find some old stuff too. So this is one I bought from Guido Stacking. I wanted to have one that was in good condition. Silver certificate just reminds me of what money used to be. But I found this one when I was about 8 years old in my grandma's closet. And she let me keep it. And it is trashed. I don't know that it's worth much, more than $1 because of its condition. But I thought it was really cool, and I thought it was so awesome because it said silver certificate on it. But that's a pretty fun piece. So I keep that on my desk there. All right. All right, I'll come back here so I can read your guys' comments again too here. $700 is one night out for dinner for a family of 4. Jeff, where do you live? That's bad. It has gotten more expensive, I have to say. In-N-Out Burger, I love it. It's a great place to go get a burger. It's fairly healthy for what it is. It's at least fresh. And I think my family of five, a couple years ago, 2019, 2020, the beginning of it, we were able to go eat out for a family. If we didn't get soft drinks and we did not get shakes, everybody got a burger and a fry. I want to say we were like $35 each, and now we're sitting at about $60. It's about double the price. If you go to just about any other hamburger place, it's way too expensive. McDonald's here, if any of you guys are McDonald's fans, a hamburger is $5. French fries are $5. If you want a medium size meal, I think those are about $14. It's just out of control. But minimum wage here is also $15. But they can't get anybody to work for that at McDonald's, so they have to pay them $22 and give them, college tuition reimbursement. So go figure on that one. So $700 is fast approaching for a family of four if you're eating maybe in a big city and your guys are all at Ruth's Chris or something. I don't know. Bonky One is reminding us that Red Cross is corrupt. Okay, maybe they are. Just be careful where you're donating your money, guys. Yeah, Robin M. I don't know too much about the rich men north of Richmond aren't doing to help Maui, but I think what you're referring to is the song. But in referring to politicians, what's interesting to me is majority of the people that are in Hawaii tend to vote Democrat, and you've got a president that is a Democrat right now, and it doesn't make any sense to me. He's wanting to get reelected, and his constituencies, he's just basically giving them nothing. $700 is nothing. So I would say that is pretty crazy, which means that maybe he's not worried about getting their votes anymore. Tony and Knox are stacking liquor, so that's interesting. So Daniel reminds us about Strike Anywhere matches. So I've seen that. I've also seen this weird stuff that looks like it's called Black Bart, some kind of black rope thing you break up, and you can light that stuff even if it's wet. I always think a good flint and steel backup is good to have too, but you cannot underestimate the need for creating a flame. Your food storage will not work if you don't have water and you don't have heat. You're not going to be able to reconstitute it, so you need to have a lot of that. So, a Bonky One, thank you for the appreciation there. I'm just trying to give you guys my knowledge. Like I get bored sitting in front of my computer talking to adults all day, and just selling my stuff. And then I've got kids that are just finishing high school senior year, and for me, I wanted to start something that creates a community. And so, and I've been privileged to live all over the country and to be in some pretty cool circumstances. And I think more as we do more of these live streams, I'll share more and more of that with you guys. Yankee Stacking's a mentor, and he tells me I'm holding back way too much, that I need to be sharing my wisdom more with you guys. But I get nervous sharing all of it out here too, because I have to keep my work life separate from this. I can't bring all of it out. Otherwise, I'd be using my real name, even though I know people are freaked out that I'm even using my face and I'm showing money and stuff. Okay, well, Bill Gates is a billionaire and he shows his face. There are ways to hide where you live, and there's ways to hide your assets and other things. There are ways to keep things secure and pack and other stuff like that too. But I'm trying to give you guys as much information as I can, because I think we're going to need it sooner than later. And I don't know if someday the internet's not going to work and I won't be able to share it anymore. So Tiger says the same stuff here. Goldbacks rule. Daniel, I know you like them, man. I've seen your posts, your comments so far. Hopefully I'm getting back to you on most of them. I do like the Goldbacks. I think they're pretty cool. I think a lot of people aren't too excited about them. And I know a few of the stackers, and you might even be on here, or at least you might be asleep now, but I know some of my friends that are stackers that have been talking about them were not thinking they wanted to take the interviews. And I think maybe they've seen some of my views recently on the Goldback videos, and now they're like, okay, I'm going to publish stuff, because they published a video today. And then I think they've got an interview coming out next week, which I think is great, guys. One thing I'll tell you with the stacking community here is I don't think there's competition. There shouldn't be. I hear from some of the stackers that person copied my video, or that person's doing the same thing I'm doing, or whatever else. You guys, it's like a family. We just need to figure stuff out and get it out there and do our thing. I put out a video about 2.5 months ago on going to a maximum security safes, and I think it's still the best safe video on YouTube from any stacker. And the reason for that is I think it's just really comprehensive. I just let the sales guy go nuts and spend 35 minutes telling me all about his stuff. And I think we got a lot of stuff in there. I don't know that it's the best safe video. I like Yankees a lot. His came out a couple weeks ago. And I had someone reach out to me in the stacking community and say, Yankees copying you. How do you feel about that? And I said, I think it's great. It means that someone else is doing a video on safes. Everybody needs to do videos on safes. I think everybody should do that. Like everybody should do video on GOLDBACKS so that we get a different perspective on it and we understand it. So I think, I don't see it as copying stuff. I think we all need to be able to help each other out and get those things out there. So when I mention this stuff about GOLDBACKS, I just think it's fun. It kind of gets us going and it reminds us that maybe we should just be putting content out instead of worrying about every nuance of it. Kyler likes to get free soap and shampoo from the hotels. And he gets the toilet paper. Dude, are you really still in toilet paper from the hotels? I guess it's not technically stealing if you're staying there, right? But I'd feel a little bit bad if you totally take everything out every night and you just put it into an empty suitcase and you wait for them to completely replenish it. That might be gray area. I don't know. Depends on what kind of hotels you're staying in too. Some of the stuff I stay in Vegas for sales conferences, their shampoo's nicer than the stuff I use. So I do like to do that. Or even when I go to Hawaii, the coconut shampoo, I mean, that stuff's killer. All right, let's see. We're going to go through a few things here. All right, we got a lot of threes, so that's good. All right. We'll do some coin roll hunting. So I think it'd be fun. I've never done it before. I don't know if we're going to get any silver in it. I got a ton of junk silver anyway. So I'm not too worried about growing my little stash on that, but I think it'd be fun for a bunch of giveaways. That would help me save a little bit of money and not have to take everything out of my stack. All right, Patriot Survival Food. So Mark, T-Bird54 asked about Patriot. I'm seeing them all over the place. I have been in contact with them, and I need to fill out some information to see if I can get an affiliate link to get you guys a discount and a small commission for myself if you guys use it. So I don't know yet. I'm going to order some of it. I am intrigued. I like the idea of how it comes in the little totes. What I like about what they have is, what I like about the Patriot Survival Food is it comes in smaller pouches. The stuff I make, I put into 5-pound bags. It can be resealed, and you can put more oxygen absorbers in there. But it's kind of made to open up rice for the month and use it. With theirs, you're using it for a particular meal or maybe 2 meals. And so it gets a lot more expensive to do it that way, but you're going to get food that's going to be more like what you're used to. It's just going to be a lot more expensive. Like it may be 8 times, 10 times more expensive than just putting rice in bags. But you're going to get full-on meals. It's probably going to taste a lot better. But I do want to try some of their stuff. I like that it comes in the little totes that can slide under a bed. That's what I need. And the buckets are too big to go under the beds. So I do like that idea. But I am planning on ordering some of it, trying it out. And we'll do a review on that too. And then if it works out and it's good, I'll go ahead and do that. I did have a friend in Utah that I was doing an Amazon store for him with food storage. And then I just got too busy to keep it going. Probably should have kept that thing going though. But anyway, with that one, I think it is really cool. So fancy serial numbers. Yes, guys, we do like those when we're looking up on our money. Let's see here. Yeah, Bonky One likes to look at all the different dates too. Okay. All right, so the $1 bill that I did set aside with all the threes can sell for more money. So maybe I'll look that up tonight, um, and we can look at that too. So I don't know. We'll see what we happen there in a minute. Um, Knox, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Are there even serial numbers on these goldbacks? I don't even look to see. Um, I don't think there's serial numbers on these, but it would make sense that they would put them on. Yeah, man, I don't see any serial numbers on these. Oh, there's a serial number. Let's see. Okay, we do have serial numbers, so let's teach ourselves something about serial numbers on these real quick. All right. Right there. You guys see it? There's a serial number. So yeah, if you did find a cool number on there, maybe that would be worth something. These don't look like anything cool. Good idea, though. I think that's kind of a fun idea to look at. All right, so yeah, guys, come down. We'll go do like a big beach bomb party or something one of these days if you guys want to come down to the beach here in San Clemente, and we'll do a big, huge catered party or something, ton of food. And we go surfing, and we can get in and out to cater it. How's that, Craig? You guys plan a big party out here. Magnesium fire starters, that sounds fun. Jamie says President Biden doesn't have to worry about getting reelected. It's already rigged. I didn't want to say that, but you're probably right. Otherwise, why wouldn't he be sending them like $100,000 each or $1 million each? I don't know. Let's see. So Craig's originally from California. Craig, are you in Oahu right now? Maybe you're in Oahu right now. So Tiger Stacker kind of mentions a good idea here too. I'll just bring this up. It's important to stack different kinds of food too for emergency preparedness. So one thing I recommend is this. I like to get canned food for short-term stuff. So I'll get like canned beans and corn, and I will use those from time to time. I don't use them all the time, but I like to have a bunch of those cans. You can buy them dirt cheap when they're on sale at Costco, for example. And I'll buy, I don't know, 10 of those big boxes of cans that come in of each of the different kinds. And I'll rotate through them. And if I need to check my dates on a few of those because I think I'm getting kind of long-winded there on those. But they'll last about 2 years. And what I do is if I start to get within a few months of it, I'll take it down to the food shelter, and then I'll just go buy new ones. So those are good ones to kind of recycle through, and that would be your short-term food storage to eat. Anything that you might buy at the store, a lot of times it has a couple year shelf life. Know that if it is expired, it does not mean it's bad. A lot of that is just rotation or best buy. It's kind of an invented thing to try to sell more food and products. Some things do go bad. Things like dairy, definitely keep those dates in mind. But canned corn, I believe you can go a little bit longer. But don't take my word for it. Look it up. But I do believe those things can go a little bit longer than they say. Let's see. Jeff likes Yankee. Yep, I know. Yankee's a good guy. He's really cool. So I've been working with him for a while. He's Yankee and also Stormy from Empire Precious Metals. Those are the two that got me to put a channel together. I was contemplating doing this back in 2021, like in January. And I thought, no, I'm just not going to do it. I was embarrassed to put my face out there and talk to the camera and read posts from people, what I'm doing right now. And to me, it really just came down to biting the bullet and doing it. And then I really debated on showing my face. It's made me really nervous for a long time to show money and my face. And then I just decided why not? We'll go with it and have faith that everything will be safe and fine. So Knox also mentions the good idea of a bug out bag. So I like to call them 72-hour kits instead of bug out bags, but would you guys give me a 4 if you'd like to see what my bug out bag looks like? I'll give you, mine's pretty sweet. So I'll give you guys a whole tour of that thing. But my bug out bag will allow me to survive with food and water for 3 days. And it also has some pretty heavy equipment in it. I've got things like water filters. I've got ways to blow things up and burn things and catch things on fire. I've got some pretty good radios in there. And I think I've got some pretty good knives. And what I'm going to add to them, and I haven't done it yet, I'll show you guys what I'm going to be adding to it. So there was a really good deal the other day on SD Bullion. This right here. Since you guys are being nice and patient, listening to me ramble all day, I'll show you this real quick. All right, let's see how we can open this up. Oh, it fell on the floor. Sorry. Okay. A big box for just a few little things in here. You guys will like these. Any of you that came from Yankees channel, you're going to appreciate what I'm about to show you. Just so you know, my channel is small. So I would appreciate any new subscribers would be great. Would love to have you guys come. I'm really trying to hit that 1,000 mark before September 6th so we can do a really cool party. If we don't hit that, we're still going to do a really cool party, but there will be more gold at it if we hit that. All right, so I got these guys. Uh-oh. Right there. So let me open these up. What I'm going to be putting into my packs is silver. I haven't done that before, but I'm going to put junk silver in there. I'm also going to put some silver rounds in there. And I just want them ready to take off and go with me. So let's see if I can open this up without causing too many problems. I want you guys to guess what is in this tube. See if you guys can guess it. I also told my community, any of you that were following me at the time, what it was. We'll move over to this camera for a minute. It's a bunch of pink foam pellets. Cowboy rounds. I have not seen one in person yet, and it actually looks pretty cool. Can you guys see it in the light there? Okay, my camera is wigging out. There we go. So look at that. I think they're pretty cool. What I like about them is, one, they're Scottsdale mint. They got a privy on them, 4/9 fine silver, 1 troy ounce. It's got this really cool sun that's glistening. You can see it there. It's got the Wyoming State Cowboy on there. It's got the Scottsdale mint back on it. I mean, I've never seen a round that is priced basically at the same price as a Buffalo that looks this nice. So I'd recommend these. Uh-oh, don't drop them. But I think that looks really nice. So we'll put that. I'll put that over here so you guys can see it. All right, we're gonna do this so you guys can see that while I'm. You guys can stare at some silver while I'm talking to you too. We'll do this. There you go. All right. Oh yeah, let's see what else we got in here because you guys seem to be enjoying this. God is from Robin N. God is protecting his children. No fear about showing your face. Yeah, you know, I look. As soon as you start to realize that you need to not fear and just have faith and happiness and joy, everything goes better. Um, and so for me, a lot of it's come down to just doing it. So I'm out on the street. You guys have seen, if you've seen my videos, I am out on the at the park bench where there's homeless people. Got like all this silver stuff there, and I actually have never felt afraid of it. Frankly, one of our biggest problems in the country is people don't know what this stuff's worth, so they're not really worried about it. If I were to just leave this on one of the benches, I don't think people would know what to do with this. I think they would look at it and go, okay, it's not money. It's like a token. I don't think they'd realize it's silver and it's worth, you know, $27. I just don't think they would even know that. Thank you, Tiger, for entertaining everybody. So Seymour, yes, that's going to be the trick. So tomorrow we'll do. I'm going to do a coin hunting. We'll start part of that. I don't think I'll do a whole box. We'll kind of split it up over a little bit of time here to make it fun. Um, I have no idea. They ordered it from the company that supplies it to them, so it could be all brand new coins, or it could be all customer. Um, well, it won't be customer rolled, I don't believe, but they could be old. They could be brand new. We're going to find out. Um, the other thing I want to start doing a little bit more, I need to figure out how to get my software to work right for us. But I am looking at bringing you guys some news every day. Some of it's going to be related to stacking precious metals. Some of it's going to be related to things around emergency preparedness. If there's any sales or deals I see. Other things are going to be related to things like the BRICS and just other crazy stuff that's out there. One guy I like to follow a lot, I don't know if any of you guys have checked him out, it's Economic Ninja. He's got a great channel. I've met him in Newport Beach here. He was down from the Bay Area. He's a great guy, and he covers a lot of really awesome topics, and his profession as a firefighter allows him to be much more flexible with putting videos out. So he'll drop a lot of videos during the day too. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of ads for Four Patriots guys too, so I'm gonna try their stuff. I just don't know how good it is. I can't tell you that I recommend it yet. So Cal Stacking's on here. I know that guy, so he's telling me a yo. What's up? Um, yes. So YouTuber Jason Hansen, CIA, talks about prepping, self-defense, and sells food. I think he's a pretty stellar guy too. I've just been turned on to his channel recently. I haven't spent enough time checking him out yet. But we could probably all learn a lot from that guy. So like I said, I'm not going to be the pro on all that stuff, but part of why I think it would be important or it's important to share some of that with you guys is one, it's knowledge that is in my head that I might as well get out. But two, it's one of those things where um, it's helpful to see how each of us in the community are doing it a little differently. So the CIA guy is going to be pretty hardcore. There's Canadian Prepper that I think is pretty cool. I watched some of his stuff. He does get into some of the conspiracy stuff pretty heavy though, and he's following a lot of stuff in the Ukraine-Russian war, which I think is, well, I don't even want to get into it right now, but um, you can follow him on that. And then there's also Urban Prepper. I think it's Urban Prepper. Um, I'll have to look at those, and I'll put some links in when we go to do those things, those food storage and stuff. Lynette Zhang also has Beyond Gold and Silver, or Beyond, I think it's Beyond Gold and Silver, and talks about a lot of emergency preparedness stuff. We don't need to have the end of the world to use this stuff. I can have an 8 earthquake here, or even a 7.5, and my city will probably be fine. We're really far away from all the faults, which is one of the reasons it's a desired city. But we could have the supply chain completely cut off for months. And so if it's cut off for months, we're going to have to figure out how to deal with stuff. You can have hurricanes, you can have tornadoes. The government seems to be trying to destroy the country, so we could have that problem too. But I do think Jason Hansen's one to go check out. Nutrient Survival Food. Okay, so Rhonda uses that and has a membership there and likes that, so that's another one to take a look at. Damien mentions any of those have cheese and pasta free options. Some of them do. a lot of the food storage I'm preparing for myself personally is dairy free, gluten free, meat free, and it's easy stuff to eat. Beans and rice. Oatmeal is not great to be eating all the time. It's the food of peasants, but if you're in a starving situation, it's great. Plus, it's a great tool for bartering. I'll barter my oatmeal off all day long for other things. So I think that's good. Ellie Armist is in the house too. Tiger's keeping everybody entertained. Tiger, thank you. Mark's only got one gold back. Well, Mark, we might need to get you some more gold backs then. Same with Damien. We might need to get you guys some gold backs. So I am going to be doing a live stream. My 1,000 sub party is going to happen on September 6th. And I will be giving this signed Drew Brophy coin away. There's only 14 of these that have been signed in the world out of the 3,000. I'm guessing some of these will be given away too. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do it. But I'm going to do something fun. We'll have a fun game out of it. But I was thinking of something like 10 giveaways on that night, where each giveaway gets more valuable from the previous giveaway. I don't know, I got to play around with that, and I'll ask a few people. We'll come up with something kind of fun for it. The other thing I'll throw out, if any of you guys have channels, I'm not looking to go crazy trying to make a ton of money off this thing right now. I'm just trying to grow my channel. If any of you guys have channels that you want a shout out, and let me know. What I would say is you guys can see my address is located on the channel description. Send me something for the 1,000 subscriber party as a giveaway to the channel, not to me. And I'll give you a shout out, and we'll put your information in the chat. The more the merrier to help everybody else out. So I'll throw that out there. Marketing line. Yeah, I don't think the marketing shelf life is really accurate, guys. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, we got a lot of 4s in there, so that's pretty good. All right, we'll do that too. All right, Tony asks, what's my favorite coins to stack? If I'm being pretty honest, it's pre-33. So I like to stack pre-33. I also like to stack gold buffaloes. I also like to stack Star Wars collectible coins, so I have a lot of those. I probably have too many of those. And then I'm an American Silver Eagle and a Canadian Maple Leaf guy. I have Britannias, but every time I get Britannias, their quality sucks. They all have milk spotting on them for some reason, and they come from the mint. So I'm not real happy about those. I end up having to send most of them away back. I don't have any kangaroos that are silver. I do have some gold ones that I like. And for me, though, I'm kind of consolidating a little bit with my stacks. I'm trying to focus on things like maybe just having gold buffaloes and maples and leaving it at that. And then I'm also contemplating just sticking with maples and eagles for silver. And then I am doing rounds, but I'm not doing a lot of rounds. I do some. These were too cool of rounds to not grab. So I did grab these. So, I like those. And you guys, I'm not that worried about wearing the gloves. When I do the cotton gloves, I just drop them like crazy and damage the coin more than touching it for a few seconds with my hand. And the rubber gloves are just so hot, I don't worry about it. And if I'm selling silver on my channel or doing an auction, most of the stuff's in a capsule anyway. You don't need to worry about it. But those are my favorite coins to stack. I also really like those South Korean stackers that come out, the 2 ounces. I think those are fun. One of the things I will tell you, I do have junk silver as well. Let me tell you a philosophy that I differ with Yankee and a few other people on a little bit. I do not think we're going to be getting in a situation very quickly where society is going to fall apart and you're just going to be trading with silver. And I'm not saying that these other guys are saying this exactly, but um, I think what's going to happen is if there's a situation with civilization getting, you know, hammered and we're having problems, I think what's going to happen first you're going to have to come together as a community. You're going to have to reassure people that you can pull together and you can pull your resources to help each other. Some people are going to freak out and go nuts, and you're going to have to either push them out of the community or you're going to have to get them to chill out. And you're going to have to set up a way to kind of protect yourself a little bit. But it's going to come down to your food stores that you have. And if you've got abilities where you live to hunt, the only thing I have to hunt around here are cougars and, like, I don't know, coyotes. There's like nothing else around here. Rattlesnakes. You know, you're going to be doing things like that. Silver is not going to really come into play until you kind of establish your own community. Then silver is going to come into play, and some of the best silver is going to be your junk silver. That'll be even better than things like these rounds. They're just too large of a transaction. Gold, you're not even going to be touching and using unless it's something like these goldbacks, in my opinion. I think your gold, you end up hiding away and don't tell anybody about it, and you're using that for when society gets, you know, back on its feet and you've got real trade where you're trading land and things like that. But I don't think you should only be going after the least expensive kind of silver. I do have things like this Drew Brophy coin. I've got a lot of stuff that's like that. And no, that's not going to be great in an SHTF situation, but when I buy things like this, if I can buy them right, a lot of times I can make money and flip them on eBay, and I do that. So it's not necessarily for everybody, but I do think there's a place to have some cool coins that keep the hobby alive and make it fun. I also like the idea of the velocity of money, which means money's always moving and changing hands. And so for me, you know, I buy this tube of cowboy rounds. I don't know how long I'm going to have this. I may only have this for a month. And I may be selling them all out on eBay, or I might be selling them on my channel or giving them away. And to me, I'm always moving money around and moving things around to kind of keep the, you know, keep the hobby alive and keep it fun. So I do that. I do think 1 ounce of gold is good or 10th ounce of gold, sorry, is good to have for bartering situations. And but I think there's a mix. I don't think you should just have only 10th ounce of gold, and I don't think you should only have just, you know, 1 ounce gold either. I also like these guys. I just flip these upside down wrong. Okay, can you see them there? I got these guys. These guys fit in your wallet better than a 10th ounce of gold does, and they're in gram size. They're very, very thin. You can easily put this in your wallet, and you get a whole sheet of them will fit in there or in a purse. And I like to take these with me when I'm traveling. And it does say what they are. You're not going to be able to trade this for food at a little, you know, hot dog stand in New York, but you are going to be able to go into a jewelry store or into a coin store and trade it for food or for money if you had to. And most likely you'd be able to go to a bank and find a teller that would probably be smart enough to take it from you too. But I do like these for this. Do I stack a ton of these? No, I don't. It's pretty expensive gold to stack. It's kind of like these. I'm not stacking. I wouldn't stack goldbacks for weight, and even for just bartering. Really, you're stacking them because you're using them. Okay, so it's not the weight. These are really just going to go for melt for the most part. You're not going to get a whole lot more for them than that, and you're going to pay a lot more for it. But it is a nice, convenient way to keep some extra emergency stuff with you. But that's my deal. Now, your most important thing, guys, is water. So we did get a few people to guess the rounds. That's good. You need to have like a good gravity-fed water filter, and you also need to have sources of water around you. What I have is pools, so I figured out ways of filtering my neighbor's pool water. Hey, Robin M., thank you for sharing out to your friends. I appreciate that big time. So yes, okay. So let's bring up another point. So Shadrach talks about here, like in your emergency pack, you don't want to put a ton of silver in there. I agree. You don't need to put a ton of silver in there. Um, I think gold backs are great for a 72-hour kit to put that in. I do think having some silver in there can be helpful too, but you do not want to, you know, put way too much silver in your pack. That's just that's not going to be good. Not a good idea. Mark knew it. All right, Metal Scholar, welcome. Good to see you here, man. So Metal Scholar is going to be helping me out with some stuff here soon. So as soon as we get things put together and we're liking what we've done, we'll probably do some joint stuff on that. I think it'll be good. If you haven't checked out his channel yet, or even Tiger Stacking's channel for that matter, do check out their channels. They've got some fun content on there. You guys will probably like it. Okay, Rhonda Holt brought up a really good point here is don't forget copies of important paperwork of birth certificates, animal vaccines, animals, and vaccines. So any kind of paperwork you have, that is a really good idea to have that in your packs. I don't think I have that, so I think that's something I need to go and add to it. I would include a photocopy of your license front and back. I would also include a copy of your passport. And I might even recommend having your passports in there from time to time, or at least having a quick place to grab your passports to take with you. It depends on how you do these kits. Some of my kits are sitting in my house ready to go, and others are in the car. So what I really want to do once I take the time to do it is I want to have a specific 72-hour kit in each of my cars that are enough for 4 people. We rarely have the whole family in one car at a time, so we have one car that we might do that. That car might have, well, I got to debate. I may only do 2 people per car. We got a couple cars, and then for the family car, we may put 5 in there. And then I want kind of a separate kit that's in the house too. And the reason for that is there's different things I might need depending on if I'm just leaving my house versus we're in the car somewhere. So that's something that I think is very important. You got to have those documents. So Kyler got a couple rolls of the silver rounds, the cowboy rounds. I think those are cool. I do, guys. I really like these. If you're still buying buffaloes, and you can find these at the same price as the buffaloes, these are way better, like 1,000 times better. I'm not a big fan of buffalo rounds. I think they're ugly. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like them. I do have some of them though. They're good for bartering. Other people like them, so if other people like them, it's worth it. But to me, these are way better looking to stack. Knox is saying it's not silver they want. I think he's referring to the homeless people on the bench. No, what they really want is phentermine. They like that stuff. That's their candy, not silver. All right, let's see what else we got here real quick. You guys have a lot of good comments. I was not planning on just reading this. I had a bunch of articles pulled up, but I think this has been more entertaining for you guys. Okay, so let's talk about set times for videos coming up. I'm a little bit fluid at the moment. I've got family members that have some special needs, and then I've got daughters that are about to get their license. So they're 17 and they don't have their license yet, and it's driving me nuts. But one of them's really close to getting it next month, and the other one the month after. So let me tell you the times I'm planning on doing things at right now, and we'll see exactly how it's going to go. What I'm planning on doing is a live stream every day at 3 o'clock Pacific time. So I know that's not going to be perfect for everybody, but it's not going to be, I guess I shouldn't say it's every day. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm looking to do it at 3 o'clock. I will probably go about an hour. If we're having a good time like we are here, where there's a lot of people in the stream still, and we got a lot of likes, we can keep going longer until my voice runs out or something. But that's kind of my plan, is to get that going. If you guys come back to me and say, hey, no way, we want it later like this, I can go later too. I can do them later. I just know if we go much later than 3, it kind of kicks the people out on the East Coast. But hey, there's plenty. Most of these stacking channels are on the East Coast, or at least it seems like 60% of them at least are. So why don't you guys put down in the chat right there what time you would like to see the videos. So here's what I'm thinking of doing. I was thinking of focusing on news Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday night, we would do a little bit later live stream that would start at 5 o'clock Pacific. And that one would for sure go 2 hours. In that live stream, what I think I will do is have a section of Buy It Nows. So for those of you that have missed some of these good deals on rounds, what I want to do is shipping things out is problematic for me. I don't want to be shipping out 100 different shipments. I don't want to get into doing this big auction thing. But I do have some really cool coins that I purchased maybe extras of that I'm wanting to sell. And I'd rather sell them to you guys for a good price than selling them on eBay. It's just a hassle there. So on Wednesdays, I am looking to do some bins and some auctions, and I've got some cool new stickers. Here, let me show you the cool sticker that just came in. There's some others that are coming. So for those of you guys that are new to the channel, I've got these are the OGs from OC stickers, and I'm only having 100 of these made, and then they're done. They're sunsetted, so we're getting through those pretty good, but there's not going to be a whole lot of them made. I'll probably end up making an unlimited number of them that are in a smaller size, because a lot of people are liking those, but I originally said we'd only make that many. I do have these guys that come in too, so sometimes you'll get those stickers. And then I've got these fun stickers that are sparkly. Let's take one out. So you got that guy that's kind of fun there. And then the brand new stickers that just came out are going to be for people that snipe an auction. So I imagine these are going to last a long time, because there's usually not a whole lot of those. But I thought that was kind of fun. I'm going to have another one that's going to be for auction winners. And then I've got one that's actually modeled after my original logo, but it's really me. So that's going to be kind of fun too. So a handful of those are coming that we'll do. But I'm looking at news Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday. And what I mean by news is kind of like what we're talking about here. We're talking about some of the things to do to get prepped. We're going to be talking a little bit about gold and silver. We'll be talking about things like the BRICS nations. We'll be talking about things like, what else? We'll be talking about any kind of stimulus that comes out, anything that's relating to the banks that might come out. Any of those crazy things that are out there that are happening. We'll talk about that. All right, well, I'm sitting here for a second. I'm going to open up something else that I just got in the mail, too. I debate how much to open up and show you guys. But you're all on here, and I got to open this stuff anyway. I don't remember what I even bought. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, you guys might think this stuff's cool. I'll show you a couple things here. All right, I picked up a couple things from Guido Stacking, so we'll take a quick break here from talking, and I'll show you guys this. I forget what this thing's called. I don't know. It's some Korean dog thing. It's probably a fox, and it's probably something really famous I should know about. But I picked this up because I do collect some of that series for fun. I don't know. Maybe I'll hold on to that. Maybe that one's going to get flipped. I don't know yet. But you can look at that thing, whatever that is. And then he had a really good deal on this bar, which I think I scored the plastic accidentally a little bit opening that. But it is not ripped. But this was a killer deal on this 10-ounce bar. So this is something that if I can get a good deal on this, I'll usually put this up to flip. So it's kind of fun. And then the last one I'll show you is this Roman Empire XF from the year 147. So look at that. Silver coin is ancient. I do love ancient coins. And I will purchase these from time to time. I don't stack these, but I do have some of them. I think it's history. I think it's something to preserve and do. Okay. So let me scroll down a little bit here because I know people are starting to drop off a little bit. I know it's getting late for a lot of you. Let me just look at the times real quick because and see if anybody put times down. 7 p.m. Central Time. I got claps there. So what I'll try to do, guys, is like right now, a lot of you are coming on here and it's late. So maybe this time works out for a lot of you. And nothing's set in stone yet, guys. Like I said, it's a little bit fluid. I'm trying to figure out when to have things. But my idea is to have some shorter sessions, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, where we're finding the good time to go off of it. If 3 o'clock works, great. If 3 o'clock doesn't work, maybe we do them at 5 or 6 o'clock Pacific time. Wednesdays, I definitely want to do from like 5 o'clock until 7 or so. And then what I'm looking for Saturday is I'm hoping Saturday can be a fun live stream from the beach. Okay, so not in this setup that you see here, but down at the beach live with people. I may even do a few of the shorter ones live from the beach too. It just depends on what time I finish up with work. I usually work East Coast time. And then on Sundays, what I'm thinking about is a fireside chat. So I said an earlier name that I thought was pretty good. Family and Faith, I think, is the name I came up with. So Sundays to me is it's a day for reflection. It's a day for reflection internally. I'm a religious guy, so it's my day of religion and with my family. So I don't want to talk I don't want to talk silver stuff, and I don't want to talk the other things that we would talk during the week. But what I really want to talk about is raising families, and I want to talk about how do we help each other. And what are some support things we can do in the world that we're living in right now? A lot of us have different struggles and issues. My biggest issue at my household is health. We've had a lot of health issues. So a lot of Lyme disease and a lot of autoimmune and ADHD. What else do we have? OCD, all kinds of fun stuff in my household. So, some of those things are interesting to talk about, and some of them can really help people that are struggling to find things. And we have spent a lot of money and time and met with just about every specialist in the country on a lot of this stuff. So some of that is what I'm thinking about for Sunday. And there may be days where I don't make it, where I'm not able to pull it off. But my hope is to have a lot more of those things. But I do like Economic Ninja. I think he's got some cool stuff out there. Let's see what else we got here from the comments. Looking real quick, guys. Star Wars trivia. Metal Scholar, I know you won that, man. What I will tell you is when we have the next May the 4th be with you. So May 4th, when we get around to that again, we'll do another big Star Wars party. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Maybe someday you guys will find out why. Let's see. Sun-dried tomatoes can be good. Okay, so Shell Bean brings up another really good idea here, and this is really important too, is you need to have someone that understands medical and can help with that. So it's one thing to get a first aid kit, it's another thing to know how to set a broken arm, and it's another thing to have a book that tells you how to do it versus experience. That's really important. One thing I would love to do in the whole community thing is I'd love to be able to better understand and figure out how we can take things like obviously this silver stuff here too. We're all learning how to use this and how it works and how money works and what real money is. But there's also the whole concept and an idea around each person having a strength. And so you may have someone that is a mechanic. You might have someone that's a doctor, someone that is a herbalist. You may have someone that is a gardener or a farmer, and maybe someone that understands business, which really you're looking at logistics and you're looking at things like operations. And then you may have someone that's a marketer or an entertainer. They can keep everybody entertained. Maybe that's my role. So I think it's important to have that in the community. And here's the thing, if we wait until the lights turn off or something crazy goes to figure out how to barter or how to use these things or what to do with them in food, it's too late. You're going to be freaking out and trying to pull people together. So the smarter thing you can do is to start to talk to some of your neighbors. Don't say, hey, I got all this crap in my house. Don't do that. But you're better off talking to them about things in general around the world and politics a little bit to see what their thoughts are and what they think. And if you start to find other like-minded people, then you can open up and have those conversations. And you might find that your neighbor's really good at canning and can teach you how to do that. And you might find this other person's really good at gardening and can teach you how to do that. So I think there's a lot of those things that can be very, very beneficial too. All right, so let's see what we got here. Hey, dollar cost average. So you guys probably know all about dollar cost average, right? So Ryan Johnson, welcome. I do think these are really nice rounds. Tony, the Brits could be better. I wouldn't say don't buy Britannias. I'm just going to say that I haven't had good luck with them. They tend to have more quality problems. South Dakota GOLDBACKS come out September 19th. I did hear that, but I wasn't given the ability to say it, so I'm glad you did. They are coming out pretty soon. Graders do not wear gloves. That I did not know, Knox. That's the first time I've ever heard of that. That might be why some of my graded coins do not look like they're perfect. I think some of them got food on them, maybe like Cheeto dust or something. Star Stacker, thanks for coming in. Ellie, thank you. So Jeff brings up a good idea, and this is true. Stacking and collecting is a different thing. So if you go back to one of my original videos, I talk about 10 ways to stack. The 10th way is really a culmination of all the other 9. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of different ways to stack, and I'm using the words a little differently than maybe Jeff's using them there. Traditionally, when you just think of stacking, you just think of accumulating a huge amount of metals in a certain category. So when you just look at really stacking, most people are going to think of stacking buffaloes, these kind of rounds here. They're going to think about stacking silver eagles, but they're not going to think of stacking this stuff, right? You're not going to stack this. Even though these are stackers and they're made to stack, I don't know anybody in their right mind that has like 50 of these that they just put on top of each other. That'd be kind of crazy. These are novelty things. If it really comes down to it, and this is all the silver I've got, this is 2 ounces, I may have to unload this 2 ounces for the same price as unloading 2 of these cowboy rounds, and that's not going to be very cool for my bottom line. So when we officially talk stacking, it really should be your least expensive things like these kind of bars here and these rounds. When I talk about stacking, I talk about multiple kinds of stacks. So one kind of stack is a collectible like this that does not have a super low mintage, but it does have a lower mintage, and it is collectible. They're only making so many of them. And then I like to look at things like this that has a super low mintage, like 3000. So the Drew Brophy coin over here, and that coin is also signed. So I mean, does it have actual value to it? It does if you believe it does, right? So we'll move this guy back here. If you believe that has value, it has added value. People have paid $185 for these coins, and you can find them for a lot less than that. But there's only so many that are signed, and people like that. So you don't accumulate multiple versions of these kind of coins, in my opinion, unless you're trying to resell them, and you have a business doing that. But they are fun to collect, and I think it's okay to have those. I think it's also important to have things like jewelry, where you can be wearing some of your gold and silver with you, and that allows you to barter if you're in a situation. I also think it's important to have a lot of sovereign coins like eagles and and maple leafs, and I prefer those way over the rounds. Except this one really is really cool. Um, and I'm not affiliated with SD Bullion. I don't get paid from them. I didn't get a discount from them on any of this stuff. I'm just like you guys. But I do like those rounds from Scottsdale Mint. They did a great job. But what I will tell you is I like the sovereign coins the most. I'd rather have eagles and maples all day long than rounds. But you got to buy them at the right price. So you gotta watch out for that. Yep, Ryan, I agree with you, Ryan Johnson, on how that's going to work. So first you're going to be bartering with food and goods and services. Later you'll be trading silver and gold as society gets together. Daniel, Idaho, Oklahoma, Montana, and Texas are currently building business networks for the Goldback. I love that idea. That's great. I might have to move out of California at some point and have a beach house here. We'll see what happens when the kids are out of high school next year. Okay, Knox tells us graders handle by the edges. Gloves can be clumsy, leading to drops. Yeah, dude, every time I have a glove, I drop my coins, and I screwed up one of my gold buffaloes doing that. Ellie is enjoying the channel. Well, good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. All right. Okay, let's see what else we got here. My eBay link is on. Okay, so you guys can see that. One thing I'll throw out there is if any of you guys see stuff you like on eBay, you can always direct message me or DM me on Instagram and let me know that it's something that you have interest in, and we'll make a deal outside of that. That'll save you some money. It'll save me a little bit of money too. So let me know. A lot of those prices I have on there are going to be moving down. I'm getting more motivated to move some of that. It's been sitting there for a while. If you haven't done so, hit the like button. Also subscribe, guys, just to remind you that. Robin M's reminding us about SD Bullion. I'll tell you guys, there's just about every online bullion dealer has a new customer one-time getting started stacking discount. I don't know what they call it. It's like a new customer deal. So just about every one of those sites has it. They're not always easy to find. But if you want to poke around and you're trying to get silver for a really good price at spot, do it. Keep looking around for those. Search on Google for it as well. If you really want to take advantage of it, sign up for your spouse or significant other and sign up for each of your kids. You can do it 5 times. Well, you can try doing it for 5 times. I guess if you have the same address, they're probably going to get smart to that. So it probably has to do more with your addresses. You got a business address, you got a personal address. If they don't block you from that, go for it. Oh, Daniel. Okay, we'll have to talk more on that. Because I've actually got a brother that's wanting to, he's a real estate agent up in Utah. And his partner buys thousands and thousands of dollars of goldbacks and uses them for trading and bartering in Utah. And he's looking for a better place to get them. He's been buying them from Monument Metals for like $580 per goldback. So Daniel, DM me on that, or you can send an email to stackingsurfer@gmail.com, and we can talk offline on that. Okay, Tiger does not stack goldbacks yet. So one thing I'll talk briefly about with you guys real quick here is confiscation. I hear from a lot of people that it's never going to happen again. And I just want to clear up one thing in my opinion. I do think it has a very high probability of happening again. I would give it a 70% chance that we're going to see confiscation of gold again. I don't know about silver. Silver's a little bit trickier. The reason I say that is I think we're going to have enough monetary problems as our empire starts to crumble and fall down, that they're going to need to pull back and get as much gold as they can. It's also going to depend on who's in power. But I do think that's going to happen. But I think it's going to come in a different form than what you guys might be expecting and thinking. I do not see a day where they're going to show up to your house with a gun and demand your gold and silver. I don't think that's going to ever happen. What I think it's going to happen is going to come in the form of taxation. I think they'll do some kind of a stupid windfall tax of up to 90% on the gains. So let's say the dollar gets wrecked from the BRICS announcement of having a gold-backed currency, for example. And let's say the dollar loses 30% purchasing power overnight and gold goes up to 3,000. I wouldn't put it past the government putting a special tax on bullion sales, as well as, when people report it on their income tax. Don't think you can always get away from not paying income tax. You should pay your income tax. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. But, if you bought it online and you bought it through a method where people will be aware that you have purchased it, it's in your best interest to pay that. There could be some taxes that way that will act just like a confiscation. So for me, I think it's important to understand the different kinds of gold and silver that are out there. Some of them are less likely to be confiscated, like rare dated pre-1933 gold coins are less likely to be confiscated. Same with collectible coins like this Roman coin are less likely to get confiscated because it's not considered bullion. With that said, that doesn't mean you don't stack bullion, in my opinion. So there's a place and time for everything and all these different kinds of metals and coins. I think it's just important to be doing your research and kind of understanding that. Maybe we will never have a confiscation again, but what if we did? Do you have some gold that might be exempt from that, or do you have a plan on how to barter with it outside of that? How do I filter my neighbor's pool? Okay, I'll have to do a video on that. The problem is I can't actually use the filter. Once I use it, I have to keep using it. It looks like a jerry can. It cost about $500, and it can be used to filter anything except for seawater. I have not found a good desalinization method. If anybody knows of a filter that is good that will desalinize, let me know. But that's one thing I would like to find. However, if I can desalinize the water, I've got to filter the heck out of it. That ocean water in California is so full of bacteria. You wouldn't want to drink any of that stuff. But I do have this great filter I can put in there, and I can do that. I'm in the process of looking at a couple gravity-fed filters too, that you would then take from that filter, put it in there, and use it kind of like a water bottle. With anything, if you don't have a great filter, you can always boil the water, but it needs to be potable water in order to boil it. So you got to get it to that form and that condition first. Pools tend to have a ton of chlorine in them. And so pool water can be a pretty good source of water to get from, at least in my opinion. I'm not a professional in that. So before you start drinking your neighbor's pool water, please go check on that. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Social Security. Yeah, I'm not planning on having any Social Security when I retire myself. So Dan, you'll have to tell me a little bit more about a prepper mini stack for emergency. I'll have to see what that might look like. Might be something we can put bundles together and sell on the channel. So that'd be kind of fun. So Tiger brings up another good point. If you want to melt some of your silver, buffaloes are good coins to do that for. There's so many of them out there. I wouldn't feel bad about it. Yeah, guys, Knox also mentioned, don't forget to sign up for the Drew Brophy giveaway. That's going to be important. Shadrack's out. Peace out, buddy. Knox Stack, good night to Shadrack. Thank you. Let's see. All right, so we're getting down to a couple other things here. 3 o'clock works for me, for Jeff. We are east, 3 to 5 your time works for us. Okay, that's good to know. Love the stickers. I know you do, Tiger. We're going to have to do some sticker swaps. I don't know if you've gotten any of your stickers off the ground yet. Sparkle slaps. I'm honestly going to tell you guys, I don't have an affiliate link for them or anything yet, but I probably should. It's Sticker Mule is what I use, and their marketing may be working for them, or it may be totally blowing up their whole business model. I only buy from them now when they send out a promotion to me. And every time they send out a promotion, it'll be like get 50 of these stickers for $19, and they're normally like $60. So I kind of wait to buy the stickers until the sale comes out, and if they're $19 for a bunch of them, I'll pick them up. But now I don't buy them unless there's a sale, so I'm waiting for a couple other sales to come through. But hopefully we'll get some fun stickers to you guys. I don't totally understand the whole crave of having the stickers, but I know a lot of you guys love it. I'm also going to be getting some magnets, so I need to finish that order tonight. Hopefully I don't forget to do that. We'll get some fun magnets ordered for you guys. And then I do, like when we do auctions and also, oh goodness gracious, when we do auctions and giveaways, they will come with stickers, guys. They'll be fun. I was giving chocolate away until it landed in a couple of people's houses in Texas, and it covered everything, including the coins and chocolate. I can't do that again. Maybe in the wintertime I'll put chocolate in again. I was doing See's Candy chocolate gold coins, which I think taste really good. Higher quality chocolate than a lot of the American junk. Okay, what else we got here? The ancient coin looks like it's high relief. It's a little bit high relief, but not any more than like this guy here, to be honest. But their stamping precision was not very good back then. But I think they had to like tap everything out anyway. All right, what else we got here? The live beach sounds cool. So Star Stacker, we will be doing a lot more live beach stuff. If YouTube ever allowed me to do it, maybe we'll have to do it on Zoom for Star Wars Day. Maybe we'll put in, I got to get a VHS machine again, but I've got the original Star Wars movies that have not been tampered with by George Lucas afterwards. Those would be fun to watch. Turn off monetization, whatever we do it on a private thing. Might be kind of fun someday. But the beach ones, we're going to have fun. I've gone to the beach already in 2 or 3 videos and asked people how much gold is worth and silver is worth. And some people thought my silver was worth $100,000. When I met the people that were from the Middle East, they knew exactly what a gram of gold was and how much it was, because that's all they buy. They don't put money in the bank. They just go ahead and get grams of gold, and they buy those every time. Okay, so let's see. So Tiger Stacker, here's a fun fact, guys. 3 things I want to become when I was a boy: a doctor, an entertainer, and a priest. All 3 in one way or another makes people feel better. Yeah, I think that is true. Dr. Tiger Stacker. Oh, man. Okay, so 5.11 Neophyte. You'll have to tell us a little bit more about that. Has some interesting stuff there. So Jeff, yeah, if you've got some ideas about bartering, I'd love it. One thing I would love from the community, guys, look, this isn't about me. I'm not showing my face to be famous or anything. I'm not a shy person, obviously, doing this. And I'm pretty friendly, and my kids get mad at me when, I'm in the line at the store and some girl picks up a thing of water, of distilled water, and says, "Oh, I think this will be really good to drink." And I just inform her that that's not the best water to drink and why. And my daughter gets really mad at me. So I'm a pretty friendly guy, but I'm not seeking any fame or glory from this stuff. One thing I would love to do is, if any of you guys have videos that you can put together, either telling your story or showing your story of bartering, I would love to do that. I've already got something from Polly Buck. I've got something from SPB. I've got mine from my doctor where I bartered with silver. I would love to put together a compilation of videos of bartering. I think it's really important that we start getting that out in the community to people. So I would love to do more of that. So if you guys have stories or ideas around that, please email me, stackingsurfer@gmail.com, with your ideas. I'd love to do that. And I'll tell you, if we use your video and we have an idea, I don't know, we'll come up with a special sticker for it. Maybe we'll have some other kind of a giveaway for you guys for participating in the community. Would be great. Okay. Yeah, Robin M. some of this silver is just bling silver. I agree. Probably not the best thing to be stacking. It's definitely, it could cost you money in the end. However, I think it's also important to get some things that you have fun with too. It's kind of like culinary when you go out to eat. If you never get that expensive, nice dish every once in a while, you don't get to taste all of those flavors and kind of enjoy that. But you would never eat that way every day. The evil-looking cat could be used as a decor, or decoy. I think he meant decoy. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that I was looking at that I thought was really cool is someone's trying to sell a kilo Death Star on a nice mount. They're asking too much for it though. They want like $6,000 for the thing or $7,000. But you can get little Boba Fett statues. You can get things like this that no one's going to think that is silver. They're going to think it's probably pewter and it's garbage or it's just metal. So you can have things in your house that are silver that are kind of hidden. They're going to cost you a little bit more, but people are probably going to pass them up and not even think twice about it. I love that it's the evil-looking cat, though. Oh, man. Yeah, it's per household. So if you have a business address and you have a P.O. box and you also have a home address, you might be able to get away with a couple of those deals. I'm not saying you go take advantage of that stuff, but if that's how it's based is on address, then look and see if the rules on there say it's one per person. Whatever. See what you guys feel comfortable doing there. Don't do anything that you feel is immoral or dishonest. Here comes the I lost it in a boating accident comments. Guys, look, it's up to you how to deal with this stuff. I mean, frankly, coins that are minted like eagles and maple leafs should not be taxed. So much of this stuff really shouldn't have the taxing that it has on it, in my opinion. But we live in a country that doesn't follow the Constitution anymore, so you got to kind of figure out which of those you're going to follow and how you're going to deal with it. So you might lose it in a boating accident every once in a while. Dump copper pennies in the filter. Copper works amazing. I'd have to try that. I know silver, they used to put silver dollars in milk to make milk last longer. Okay, Robin M, are you telling me, uh-oh, I got my first thumbs down. Someone didn't like what I said. So, I don't know. I don't know what I said. I got a thumbs down. That's too bad. What I will tell you guys, though, is I think, honestly, I don't think you should ever be dishonest with stuff. I'm not. I pay taxes on all my stuff. But, look at the rules on that other stuff. I'll leave that there. As far as the copper, though, is the copper to help with desalinization, or is that to help with filtration? You guys will have to tell me more about that. Okay, so you got stickers, okay. So we'll have some more magnets coming out. I do have these in magnets. These guys come in magnets. And then I'm working on the real life version of it tonight. I'm going to order those. Copy of your social security card would be good in your pack. SPB, I can't believe you're still awake. Good to see you here. A silver ice cream cone. That'd be sick. Someone needs to make one of those. Maybe a silver waffle cone would be pretty cool. All right, copper in pool filter. All right, I'll have to check that out. The filters for pool. Okay, that's interesting. All right, cool. All right, we got the second thumbs down. All right, I think people are done. Oh my gosh. Well, you guys, this has been a good night. I need to call it a night too. It's 9:24 here where I'm at, and I've got to finish up a few things for tomorrow. So I would love to hear more from you guys. I didn't plan on going this late. We just had a lot of comments I wanted to get through. It's a little different than what I was planning on. But I'd love to hear from you guys on what you enjoyed, what you did not like from this live stream, what we can change. And I'd love to find out a little bit more how we can help you guys out and what we can do with it. But what I will be doing is on the 6th of September, we'll be giving this away and a bunch of other stuff. I don't know what else will be given away yet, but there'll be quite a few things that will be given away. And my hope is that you guys will be able to get some free silver out of it and enjoy it. So until next time, peace out.